Welcome to the land of illusion. Welcome to your final resting place. I see your mind's full of delusion. When you look in the mirror, do you see your own face? Welcome to California. A place for hopes, a place for dreams, a place for scars, a place for screams. Welcome to Hollywood.
Welcome to my logo disappearing and Modern Art Blitz.
Appearing here live at Drumebox Studios.
My name is Mat Gleason. I'll be your host for a wild 1 hour ride through art and contemporary reality. I'm winging it now. I don't have a teleprompter but basically this is Modern Art Blitz. We're a television show where we interview the best and brightest involved in the contemporary art scene in Los Angeles and internationally. I was going to say international in Los Angeles and abroad, but then I would have been introducing my co-host, Lisa Derrick. How you doing, Lisa?
I'm not broad, I'm rather narrow.
Oh,
Well, except for my breadth of my knowledge.
Oh, the breath. I think you said breath. I was like,
No,
okay.
My breasts are not narrow.
So, we do this every week at dronebox.com. We stream live. If there's a foul up, it's live. If Lisa has a wardrobe malfunction, if I suddenly start hallucinating and screaming, it's live.
But that's normal, man.
Oh, well, yeah, that's... Today we have a very special guest. We normally have art. We have a lot of artists on the show, don't we?
We do.
We've had a couple gallery owners, but today we have, well, we have the Sketcher's seat. Show the Sketcher's seat. Show the big. Where's our big camera shot?
There she is.
On my left, on the right of your screen, is our intern Aliza. And she is sitting in the Sketcher's seat, and she's wearing green pants, so it looks like she has no legs.
She's just floating midair. It's because she's an ethereal being. She's floating in midair.
I was thinking, you were all thinking I would be the one who hallucinates, but look who's cracking it. Okay, our guest today. We're very excited to have our guest today. This is like a big. This is the big time.
Yeah, I mean,
She's trying to get the Sketcher seat to laugh right now, so you know how serious we are all about this wonderful adventure. Our guest is the general man. It's a bureaucracy. I got to be the right thing. Our guest is the general manager of the City of Los Angeles Department of Cultural Affairs. She is a direct political appointee by Mayor Eric Garcetti. I almost called him Merrick Garcetti, but it's Mayor Eric Garcetti. Welcome to Modern Art Blitz, Danielle Brazell.
She's so awesome. Like, I'm stoked that we have like a real live city official who's not a stick in the mud.
Well,
who's super cool.
Well, we have to show this.
You don't know that yet.
We don't. We don't know. We're about to find out.
Yeah.
So
this is the stick in the mud test.
Yes. You're halfway there. We got you on Modern Art Blitz. If you stiffen up, then people are going to go, well. So, okay, so you're being sketched, but let's find out. Danielle, how did you get your start? How does somebody get appointed by the mayor? I mean, was it a Craigslist ad?
It's a job, the city put out a job announcement.
Did you go to school for this?
Go to school to
be a political appointee?
No, I didn't go to school.
You didn't go to school?
No.
No kindergarten?
Okay, so I went to kindergarten.
Okay, so you're a kindergarten, are you a beauty school dropout?
No, but I kind of thought about doing beauty school for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
So where are you from?
I'm from Reseda.
Reseda? Did you ever go to the country club?
Yeah.
Did you?
Totally. I
to-
saw Oingo Boingo at the
No way!
country- Yeah.
I was at that show too.
you were.
Swear to God. No, I saw.
Oh, wait, I remember you.
I saw many. Oh,
Did
shit.
you go to Bebop Records?
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
my
wow.
God.
Okay,
I used to have my hair done at Antenna. It was like it was.
Do you know Richard Brulin? He was he's the guy who was the head of. He's an artist, and he
was?
owned Bebop. He was Bebop.
Really?
Yeah.
He was Bebop.
Records,
Yeah.
And he made all their flyers. So wait, how did you go from hanging out at the country club and Bebop Records to being appointed by Mayor Eric Garcetti to be the general manager of the Department of Cultural Affairs? Because this is really
You got
fun.
better memory than me, man.
And you have a tattoo, I see.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, my sister did that when I was 13.
So it's a
Oh my
stick and poke.
God. You got a
yeah,
stick and
yeah,
poke?
yeah.
Wow.
It was number 2.
So do you have a tramp stamp?
I don't.
No.
I don't. I wanted to, but again, I couldn't decide on the design.
So the best line I ever heard about a person who had no tattoos was artist Robert Williams. He said that the problem with having a tattoo is he's such a finesse painter that within a week he would want to go, oh, I got to fix this, I got to change that, and so he knew well enough not to get a tattoo.
Yeah. My sister was the local tattoo artist, and so she kind of took care of everybody in the
I love that we
neighborhood.
have a bohemian in bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bobu.
A what?
A bobu.
I like it.
Bohemian
Can
bureaucrat.
we change my
title?
credit? Yeah,
Bobu.
can we? Yeah.
Bobu. Bobu.
Yeah.
A bobu.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Reseda, and where'd you go to school?
Cleveland?
You went to the city of Cleveland?
No, Cleveland High.
Oh, Cleveland High in the valley.
Yeah, in the
Oh, okay.
valley.
In the valley.
Yeah.
And then
What's
what
the
happened?
mascot? What was your mascot? What was your high school?
The
mascot?
Cavalier.
The Cavaliers.
The
The
Cavalier.
Cleveland
The
Cavalier.
Cavalier.
Wait, they just won the NBA
Yeah.
title. Wow. Okay,
You
so
can't compete with the land. Dun, dun. That was it. That was
Were
what
you a cheerleader?
No, I was a drama. I was a total drama dork.
Oh, you were a drama dork. Wow.
So were you
Theater
punk
kid.
rock in high school?
Boingo
no,
boingo, new wave.
I kind of like. I grew up kind of public housing, a lot of lowrider culture. So I was kind of more in the white chola realm, and then transitioned from raccoon stripes to purple stripes,
So
and then kind of danced that line between punk, not really punk rock, I would say more new wagey.
new wave?
Yeah.
New wavy
New
or wagey?
wavy, yeah.
New Agey.
New
You weren't a
wages?
crystal club.
No, I was not a crystal girl, but I do have a little bit of hippie in me. I
little
will
hippie?
definitely
We all
say.
do. We're from LA.
I think I have a little hippie. I have a little lowrider. I have a little ghetto. I have a little suburbia.
So you're a consummate Angelino.
I'm from
You
LA.
are the melange. Now, did you go to college locally?
No,
Where did you go to college?
no,
You didn't go to college?
didn't go to
You are a high school graduate.
no.
You're not a high school graduate.
You're a high school dropout?
I didn't drop out.
You got kicked out?
GED?
I got kicked out of junior high twice, but
Wow.
I just didn't finish and get the diploma.
Okay, so to be a political appointee. So okay, let's get this clear.
Is so hot.
You don't-
I can't even tell you.
you don't have
You're
to
a
s-
total idol.
You don't have to pad your resume to be a political appointee, apparently.
No, I mean, here's the deal. Like, how do I say this? I really couldn't compete in school.
Okay.
I couldn't compete. I couldn't finish my studies. I couldn't finish the requirements. I didn't go to school in junior high. I had already dropped out.
Wow.
I was, doing all sorts of things.
Were you making art? Are you an artist?
Yeah, I wasn't making art then. I was doing other things that kids that drop out do.
Kids that drop out do. Okay.
And then,
Oh, there's a long list.
Oh yeah, we don't have time on 1 hour of modern.
but
Art
here's
Blitz,
the thing. I was really bored. I was bored, and so a friend of mine said, why don't you come back to school and sign up for this class? It's super easy, the teacher's super cool and you'll love it. And it was a drama class, and her name was Barbara Yannick, and she kind of changed my life, and she got me to go back to school. And that's pretty much what I could do, is put my kind of all of my energy into creating theater. And I learned how to make art through theater.
Wow.
And
So you've acted professionally?
yes, I've acted professionally. When I left high school, and I always say left high school because I didn't get the diploma, so I can't really say like when I graduated high school. I did a lot of intimate theater in Los Angeles, and then I found performance art. And then I kind of moved into the realm of being a radical lesbian feminist performance artist.
Wow. And have you performed at any local galleries we might know of?
Yeah, I did a lot of work at Highways Performance Space back in the mid-90s.
Back in the day.
Back in the
Glory
day.
days.
And then I, I took a lot of workshops with, the kind of consummate performance artist of the time. I mean, Tim Miller and...
One of the NEA 4?
Yeah.
Wow.
Great friend and colleague. And
Wow.
then I ended up succeeding Tim in taking over and running Highways as the artistic director.
Do you know, I've curated 3 of the 4.
Are you
NEA
serious?
4. I've curated
They're
3 of the 4.
amazing.
But
They're like American heroes.
Tim's the only one I haven't. So I gotta find a way to curate him.
You gotta curate Tim.
Yeah.
You gotta curate Tim.
The first show that I did was Matt, and the reason I got, Matt decided to help me out, I was like, well, I want to do a show called Two Johns and a Whore with John Fleck and John Roker. And John Roker is a queer performance artist director, and John Fleck is John Fleck.
He's one of the
Fleck
NEA
is
4.
like,
Yes.
He's one of the great
and
ones.
Matt,
Oh, yeah, it was a great show.
handheld me through it.
And not only was it a great show, it was a great T-shirt. So
Yes.
we should get you a Two Johns and
I
More
would
T-shirt.
love it.
We gotta get
I
you a
would
T-shirt.
love it.
Yeah,
I
I
would love
designed
it.
the T-shirt myself.
And it's got the Coagula logo on the back in case can you do the public-private thing? How is the public-private thing these days?
Public-private partnerships, the PPP.
They still exist. Oh, they have a bureaucratic
It's
title?
called the
They have
PPP.
their
Well,
own
that's what I
acronym.
call. That's what I call it.
Okay, well.
Is the PPP?
So is it?
It's
Are they still allowed?
Yeah, I mean, that's all there's over 300 PPPs through the grant program. If you're a nonprofit arts organization, you're getting, and you apply and you get a grant from the city. That's like the OG public-private partnership.
How do you get a grant? How does one?
You fill out a 30-page application.
30 pages? Come on, I'm creative. I shouldn't be filling out applications.
You pay a grant writer to do it.
Do you pay a grant writer
You
to
can
do
pay
it?
a grant
You can
writer.
go through the California Initiative and they'll help you write a grant?
The California Initiative? Tell me about that.
Isn't that what they're called? They're right
I
on
don't give out wrong information you don't know.
No. It's right on Alameda. It's the
It's this.
That across from Philippe's.
Yeah. The
Okay.
California Endowment.
endowment.
California
that's it,
Endowment.
They
Endowment.
have classes. I mean, okay, if you're a nonprofit arts organization, the reason why you have to be a nonprofit is because you have to operate in the public interest. You're not operating for a profit, unlike some organizations that are in a creative business. I mean, Los Angeles is a creative capital. There is a tremendous amount of money that goes into creativity in LA.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, it's a massive, massive industry. So if you're doing something in the public interest, then the city and the county and the state and the feds will support the work. But then there has to be a tremendous amount of controls to make sure that you're operating within the public interest.
And they have to use the money for what they say they're going
And
to
they
use the
ha-
money
right,
for. They can't just
exactly.
get a grant and go to Vegas.
Exactly.
They
You
have to spend it in nightclubs in LA.
Well,
Hookers and Blow, my new art project.
but here's the thing, it's also about paying artists. And so how do you pay artists in LA, right?
I own a gallery.
How do you pay artists?
They consign me their art and I sell their art and,
Totally.
I write them a check.
And they get paid.
Oh, yeah.
Because artists need to get paid.
I agree.
Artists are just like doctors or lawyers or acupuncturists.
Well, do you think if they were like farmers that we would have better art if the government gave them grants to not make art? Like they give them grants to not grow crops to keep
I have to think about that a little bit. Can I just get back to you?
Maybe.
Because I don't know if that analogy works with my brain, so I have to like.
You see, the Department of Agriculture would understand that one pretty clear. That's why.
I mean, it's a subsidy thing. And I
Yes.
think that, that creatives make LA thrive. And so the question that I have with the Department of Cultural Affairs is, how do we support creativity in LA? And what are some of the new ways that we need to think about supporting creativity? And who makes creativity? It's people, it's artists, right?
So the big thing you're working on now is the Public Art Biennial.
That's the big thing.
That's the big thing.
I mean, it's one of the big things.
You're working on a lot of things.
I'm working on a lot. I have like lots of
There's a lot
balls.
going on. How many people work under you?
It's so weird, work under me.
With you.
Because no, yeah, it's like we're a team.
You're a
I'm
team.
more of a
You're just kind of like
democratized. I mean, it's a very hierarchical system, but I'm a political appointee, and there's people that have been with the department for like 30 plus years.
They're employed. They're just you're going to come and go.
Yeah, they're civil service employees, and they maintain the integrity of like this kind of crazy bureaucracy and making sure that things get supported in Los Angeles, and I absolutely support what they do. So the Public Art Biennial, which I think is one of the big things that we're doing, is using art as a way to address some of the city's kind of big pressing questions. So I come out of an art for social change movement.
What is a big pressing question? Like my big pressing question is, does Trump have a chance to win? That's like, to me,
he
that's
actually does. Brexit, hello? Like that is crazy.
Yeah. Don't you think though the Brexit might, if London gets a kick in the nuts, that it could actually help LA's as a creative,
hope so.
Financial kind of center?
I don't know. Have you seen that the art market has actually taken a huge dive?
The art market at the top is not really an art market though; it's a commodities market.
Of course, it's a total commodities market.
But the art market, like the lower middle class galleries, are not really affected by a Picasso selling for 28 million instead of 98 million.
I agree.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah, but I think that some of the artists that you're trading in today actually will possibly.
I appreciate the vote of
I'm
confidence
just gonna
there.
I mean, otherwise, look, we want to buy art, and some people are buying art as an investment, and so everybody's looking for kind of the next thing.
So the Public Art Biennial is addressing some of the big questions.
So
What's
one
a
of the
question?
big questions is water. I mean, this is right, a huge issue in Los Angeles. It's a huge issue globally. I'm tripping on the fact that, and I was just having this conversation with a colleague last night, and I have to fact check it, so maybe we can fact check it on our phones. But is all of the water in the world, 1% is really drinking water? And is that only 1%?
Nah, that sounds.
You're not buying it.
You know what? I don't bullshit a bullshitter.
Okay, we're gonna fact check
this. I was talking to my leprechaun ancestors the other day, and they said if you want to rattle people, just say 1%. It always rattles people because we all feel like we're part of the 99%. I need a shillelagh and a pipe.
We're Googling it.
Yeah.
I'm going to fact check that if you'll open your phone.
How do I open my phone? Okay, I have to type the code in. Did you see that? Oh my God! Everyone just saw my code.
No, they didn't. At least I didn't ask you. For
So anyway, so the idea is to invert the Art Biennial model.
Okay.
So usually, if we're talking about a commodity, biennials are created, they're curated, and a whole lot of trading happens.
Oh, there's a lot of market forces in the biennials.
A lot of market forces.
Even when they happen in public institutions, there's a lot
of market stuff happening.
Oh, yeah.
So let's invert the Public Art Biennial, make it actually about a critical issue that Los Angeles is facing. So we've got this major drought. There's this major river that a ton of money is being poured into to revitalize it.
The LA River.
The LA River. But we also have this massive basin, and there's this whole water infrastructure in Los Angeles. I mean, we spend so much money and resources on this thing of how we manage our water.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of amazing. So can we commission artists to respond to this idea and create opportunities for them to do installations, public installations in sites throughout the city, and then invite the public to go and explore what that conversation is.
Can we get them to fix some of the leaky faucets too?
That would be great. But I mean, LA was created by water, and it's part of our beautiful mythos. It's Chinatown, Jake.
Right.
So
it's Chinatown.
Tell me, is the Public Art Biennial kind of like C.O.L.A, or it's going to be all around town? And C.O.L.A which is the city of LA, which is it biannual or annual?
Annual.
C.O.L.A is annual.
Yeah.
And what is
that's at Barnsdall.
Yes, that's at the Municipal Art Gallery, which is one of very few cities has a municipal art gallery left. So back in the 60s and on Olive Hill, which is where Barnsdall Art Park is, the city built a 10,000 square foot municipal art gallery, which is specifically to be used for the people of Los Angeles. And every year we bring in about 10 to 15 commissions of artists. It goes through a pretty intense jury process, and those artists get a chance to exhibit their work.
Get your C.O.L.A grant.
Get your C.O.L.A
Looks
grant.
good on your resume.
It's really good. It's a good stepping point.
It is.
It's
Well, I notice sometimes it's a stepping. They were up here and now they're stepping back down. But a lot of times it's an artist stepping up. It's like if they have a C.O.L.A grant within a couple of years, they're probably going to have a museum mid-career retrospective.
Absolutely. You get a museum retrospective. You get the California Community Foundation grant. You start getting other little fellowships. You get into Made in L.A. I mean, this is kind of.
So the C.O.L.A show this year, it's all self-contained in Barnsdall.
It's all within the Municipal Art Gallery.
Now when does the public when does that run?
You know
through?
what? It's God. Can we like
Google if you're interested? Google it.
It actually ends in the next week, I believe.
C.O.L.A.
Yeah, C.O.L.A does.
It's been up for a couple months.
Yeah, it's been up for a
What's
couple
the
months.
next show at Barnsdall? Do you know?
Gosh,
You don't know
I
the
don't.
Municipal Art Gallery?
Yeah.
Well, she can Google.
Can we
You
look
can
it up?
Google it.
Can we? Yeah.
Because if this is archived,
Yeah.
if they're watching this 5 years
Yeah.
from now, when you're president of the United States,
Yeah, that's
or
not
maybe
gonna
you're going to be
happen.
one of Hillary
I
Clinton's
think you
appointees.
do have to graduate high school to be the president.
Don't-
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Donald Trump. Maybe that's what we need to do. We actually need to.
Yeah, help me out here. So you applied to be a political appointee,
Yeah.
and you how many interviews do you have with that?
It's a rigorous process.
It's a pretty rigorous process.
Is it more background check or to make sure you're like?
I mean, they do a background check, but I think that when
Is it a dark and smoky room? Is it a smoke-filled room? Are there 20 people waiting in front of you? Like are you auditioning?
it was a pretty intense, rigorous process.
Did you finally meet the mayor? Did you know the mayor ahead of time?
So I have been when I left kind of the highways and performing and teaching, I was doing kind of a 3-track career, cobbling together, performing, presenting, producing shows, and teaching.
Primarily theater.
Primarily theater, performance, running a nonprofit space. I kind of had this moment where I was like, you know what, I think the system's broken. This is an unsustainable model.
The nonprofit system.
The nonprofit system. And Highways Performance Space we were presenting close to 50 weeks a year on a shoestring budget. I mean, it's absolutely unsustainable. It's totally crazy. And so if you don't have public support and you don't have foundation support, how do organizations survive?
Yeah.
And this work is really important. It's really important to the fabric of the arts community. So I ended up getting a job running and starting this nonprofit arts advocacy organization called Arts for L.A.
Oh, okay.
Because I figured, you know what, policy is actually a really interesting way. If the arts community organizes and we organize kind of thoughtfully and effectively, we can actually reverse the system. And this is at a time when, the Department of Cultural Affairs, there was multiple efforts to eliminate the agency as a whole.
Wow.
And if you can imagine the city of Los Angeles not having a Department of Cultural Affairs, I mean, that just doesn't seem
like
right.
a real city.
Yeah, I mean, how can
cultured?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're cultured. I'm from Reseda. We're cultured.
Well.
No, but you need to have a way for the city to invest in arts and culture. I mean, that just needs to happen.
Now, are things like, when they have those big raves at the cornfield?
I love that.
And the big parties in downtown LA, does a percentage of that go to help fund the arts in Los Angeles?
I think that is such a great idea, but no.
Wow. One
No.
would assume a cultural event like those,
No.
where does all the cash go?
Where does all the cash go?
Yeah.
I don't know, because
cops?
that's a state park and that's a county park. This is my bureaucracy talking.
But if there's a large events in the city streets or the city, remember when we had the big downtown parties? There was a New Year's Eve party downtown.
Yeah, those go to pay police. Those go to pay sanitation. street closures, so DOT folks.
Do people like walk up to you on the street and ask you these questions?
Yeah,
by the
totally.
way?
This
Just
is
seriously,
exactly.
when
This
you're,
is
you're at
like-
a party, you say
well,
you
and
do
I
this,
happen
and
to
then-
have this information.
Well,
My
but-
partner is always like, "How do you know this?" And I'm
It
like,
would
"I
be
work for the
nice
city."
if there was a cultural affairs VIG put on this, like even like.
Shouldn't we, you know?
Yeah, like 1%.
So what we have is we have 1% of what's called the Transient Occupancy Tax, so it's a hotel bed tax. So anytime you stay in a hotel in Los Angeles, you get taxed 14%, and we get up to 1% of that.
1% of the
One.
14% collected, or one of
Yeah.
the 14 parts?
We get, isn't that the same?
Yeah, we get 1%.
1%.
Shit, it's math.
14%.
So it's about $11 million a year.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
about $11 million a year.
So not Airbnb, right?
Not yet, but
Not
I
yet.
think,
They're gonna-
but I think that's actually something that if the city passes an Airbnb, that 14% would go on it, and we'd be able to reap
Nice,
the benefits.
okay.
But it's all about kind of reinvesting. You know, tourists want to have authentic arts and cultural experiences.
So but they're paying for the hotels, so they may as well be the ones getting taxed to the point that they fund the things that they end up going to.
Exactly.
So Barnsdall basically is a place for people from Finland and Sweden to go to, right?
As well as people from LA.
From LA, okay.
I mean, we're taxing our visitors, basically.
The
But
visitors.
every city taxes their visitors.
Well, you know, there's a rumor that some people in LA use hotels in the afternoon, so they're paying the tax too.
Exactly.
How do you know that?
It's a little drama, just a little.
So there's the next show coming up is the open call show.
Oh, right.
And
What's an open call show?
Well, you know what an open
Well,
call is. Are you just...
I've had to. Let me tell you. But I will tell you, you know, I've discovered artists that I've ended up working with through open call
Yeah.
shows. I like the democracy of it, and I think you can use democratic systems to create an art elite.
Well, I think you want to create opportunities for people to participate at all levels.
Especially in their gallery, right? It's
It's a city gallery.
The Municipal
and
Art
so you
Gallery
want
is.
the
Yeah. Now, do you have to be a
people of the
resident
city-
of the city of LA?
You know what? I don't think
They
you
don't card
do.
you?
I don't think you have to be a resident. I think it's Southern California.
Southern California.
Because, you know,
is
when
a
you
great
talk
city.
about LA, it's like, are you from LA? Yeah, I'm from LA. What part? I'm from La Mirada. Right? Right? But you're still
Easternmost in
from
quality.
Los Angeles.
Yes,
It's
yes.
LA.
Lancaster.
When
You're
you're
from
when you,
Lancaster?
yes.
No, but Lancaster.
I'm like, you're from Lancaster?
No, I'm from Mandeville Canyon. It's near where OJ's from. But
OJ's from USC.
no, but his house was like over the fire road from our house. But,
Really?
Yeah, but Lancaster.
Did you go to uni?
No, I went to Westlake School for Girls.
That is fantastic.
That's why I was able
That's
to
kinda
drop
hot.
out of Berkeley and Loyola Marymount.
That's amazing. I'm having a little bit of a deja vu.
I don't want to find out you two were at the Oingo Boingo concert. Okay, so.
We were, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Aliza, do you own any new wave records? Look at the look. Look at the look. She's 25. She never heard a new wave.
But she dresses very
But
80s.
you totally
You
are
are
working the
such like-
fashion.
yeah. I know.
She's the most new wave chick I ever met, and she doesn't know what new wave is because it's old
But she's
wave.
seen Karate Kid, both versions.
No way.
You know that was filmed in Reseda.
Whoa.
And she probably has seen Goonies, which I haven't seen.
Oh, I love Goonies.
So hey, you know, Lisa here is a huge fan, and I'm a big fan, but Lisa kind of lives and breathes murals.
Yeah.
What's up with this mural ordinance? Are you guys cracking down
I
on
am
murals?
not the mural police.
You're not the
I
mural
just
cop.
want to confirm.
No badge?
No badge. We are not the mural police. But I will say there are mural police out there.
They're out there.
They're out there.
They're
Be
out there.
careful.
They're going to bust your mural.
But murals are no longer illegal. in the
Murals
city
are
of Los
not
Angeles.
illegal.
Nope, and the city can't really. What we do is we register them, which is really great because if you can get them registered by the Department of Cultural Affairs, you get free graffiti coating. And so I think that you can see us as the Mural Protection Agency, like the EPA,
You're the
but the
MPA.
MPA.
If I have like a liquor store or corner market and I just want a couple kids from the neighborhood to do something fabulous, do I need to get a mural permit?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get free graffiti coating.
You get free graffiti coating, and for $60, it becomes a legally permitted mural. And I think that what ultimately it does is that it makes sure that if it gets kind of put into almost the city art collection, right. and think about it being a fine art mural, so that it's not just something that can be kind of trashed or painted over.
There have been a few people who've tried to like sidestep the no advertising thing. Like they'll get sponsored by, Acme Fabulous or something, and then it'll be their logo or something. So they kind of like try to get around the no advertising, which is the idea of what the murals were supposed to be. Is that when not your department but the mural police come in?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is where if you paint a sign or have a sign up, you have to get a sign permit, and so that's a building and safety thing. And there's a lot of money in advertising.
Yes.
Commercial advertising is pretty huge business, and so the city's going to reap the benefits of having those commercial entities pay their fees
for their tennis shoe ads or their record
totally
ads
absolutely. And there's always going to be kind of the line gets blurred when an artist is going to use a Converse logo because they're doing a pair of shoes, but it's embedded into
sponsored by, let's say, the soda company that one of the characters in their mural is holding. Then is that advertising, or is it just a sponsored mural?
I think that's where the line becomes really gray.
We're not looking for murals of portraits of R2D2 anytime soon. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's big questions around what comes first, right? Like Foster the People did a mural a couple years ago. It became their album cover. They're sponsored by a record label. The record label paid for the mural. What came first, the mural as a pure art form, or the band trying to, use the art to sell records? I mean, it's weird. It's when you really try to kind of like, I think, draw those really hard lines, which is what the city does. They need the kind of black and white rules and laws, because otherwise it gets opened up and there's litigation that happens.
Right.
So let me ask you, you guys, is there like a rivalry maybe between like the Municipal Art Gallery?
That's a good question.
And like the Broad?
No, not at all.
LACMA or Mocha?
No, are you kidding me? Absolutely no. They blow us out of the water.
So who's your rival? Like, does New York have a Municipal Art Gallery? You're kind of
no. They've got Lincoln Center, and there's not really a whole lot of rivalry. I mean, like Torrance has a Municipal Art Gallery. I actually have to say that the work of the Municipal Art Gallery is pretty extraordinary. Like, the integrity of the work is really, really high.
Now you've had a variety of shows lately. One that was really successful attendance-wise was the Robert Williams retrospective.
That was off the charts.
That was just a huge
crazy.
crowd. Robert came by a couple times to sign books and everything. Nice guy.
Totally nice, really lovely. Love the crowds. I mean, it was really a huge success.
And he said he wanted to show there. And this guy, he could show anywhere.
Yeah.
Robert Williams could show anywhere, but he showed at the Municipal Art Gallery because he saw a Salvador Dali show there when he was a kid in the 60s. And so that's like the legacy of the Municipal Art Gallery. It's like, the guy goes, he's influenced by something that was there for him, and then he comes back and he gives back, right? And then it traveled, it was a traveling show. It's been all over, but it really emanated from his hometown.
I didn't know that story. I really love that.
Yeah, Robert. When Robert tells you a story, he does it in a memorable way, But then you also had recently the Skin Show, which I thought was an amazing group show.
Yeah, the Skin Show was really fantastic. I mean, how do we talk about, race in Los Angeles? We have one of the most diverse populations than anywhere else in the world, and we still have this kind of super segregated city. And every once in a while, things explode. And part of it is like, if you don't create an opportunity for people to engage in a conversation, then folks are going to stifle it and create their own conversations in their head, and I don't think that's ever a good idea. You got to get that stuff out. And so that's what the Skin Show did, and it was fantastic. And there's this other component which I thought that Isabel Luderat, who's the curator and director of the Municipal Art Gallery, but she created this kind of idea of like, well, what's a sustainable city in Los Angeles, and kind of how does skin and race and culture play into that? So that if if we are one of the greatest and most diverse cities in the country, then how does that diversity actually create a sustainable city for us? And we're actually going to move that portion of the show into the Bridge Gallery at City Hall, which is this really kind of small little. It's this bridge right over Main Street, and it kind of connects the old building with the new building that was built in the 70s, and there's just
the new building
in the 70s,
40 years.
But it's kind of great to kind of bring that conversation into City Hall. I mean, it's happening at a time when one of the people there are people that hang out in city council chambers, and they comment on every motion that anyone puts forward to City Hall, and they basically badger the council members. And one guy actually drew a noose and wrote the council president's name on it. So here, like, this is unbelievably crazy, and they're pushing the boundaries of free speech. Like, they're intentionally doing it, but if somebody doesn't realize like what that legacy is, we actually need to start to build some cultural interventions to mitigate that kind of crazy.
I remember back in the day, there's a guy who used to dress up like a clown. And he would come, and it wasn't even a good clown. It was like a sloppy clown. Yeah. And then you would see him after the city council, like walking to a bus to catch his bus. Yeah. And he used
there's a guy that dresses in a white hood and and swashbucklers on his hood and a gas mask and it's super intimidating, and it's super intimidating. I think if somebody then draws a noose and a stick figure with somebody hanging on it and your name on it, like that's actually like that's a threat.
Yes.
And so what's the line around free speech, and what's the legacy of having the council president, who's an African American guy, being depicted in this? Like, that's just not okay.
Especially because part of the history of Los Angeles is that the first time we hit the international news was in the late 1800s with the lynching of Chinese.
Yes.
I mean, we have a history.
We have a history.
Was there international news in the 1800s?
Yes, there was.
Okay.
Yeah, there were telegraphs, and this was newspaper in Australia.
I wasn't there.
I was,
I
darling.
believe you. I believe you.
No, and like we have, Chinatown used to be Sonora Town, and where Chinatown used to be is Union Station, and there is a street there called Negro Alley, and that's where the lynching happened.
It wasn't called Negro.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Exactly, I can't say that.
I think that the legacy of the Skin Show in the year 2016, or I think was it last year? Was it 2015?
No, it was this year.
As the rise of this kind of new nationalism, which for the record scares the shit out of me.
Terrifying.
I'm not one of these people who's going to be kind of neutral about it. It scares the shit out of me. So the legacy is there are good people trying to do good things in the era we live in, and these art shows they open the minds. But how do you get the word out? Besides appearing on Modern Art Blitz, how does the Department of Cultural Affairs get the word out when they have these vital programs, when they have these vital shows?
I mean, I think that this is an ongoing. This is difficult for the Cultural Affairs Department, as well as any arts organization or artist or gallery that's trying to kind of compete in the second largest media market in the country.
Oh yeah.
So we have to find alternative methods for doing that. So we're building our own communications platform. Take control of your media.
Do you have a Facebook page?
We have a Facebook page.
Instagram?
We have a Twitter, culturala.org, Facebook, Twitter.
Snapchat?
We're on Snapchat.
No.
Seriously,
that's
and
so
the Municipal
fun.
Art Gallery.
That's pretty hip because kids are doing it, I heard.
Kids,
I even have a
the
Snapchat.
kids.
Aliza? She told me what to do with Snapchat.
Do you have a Snapchat? So we should Snapchat.
She's the
each
original
other.
Snapchatter.
We should Snapchat each other totally.
Oh, you're
Well,
really...
while you're staying in my guest room, we can Snapchat each other from the separate.
That is so cute. But yeah, I mean, so it's all about kind of building your own communications platform and then doing your target media and outreach.
So basically, that's pretty much the corporate blueprint now. I mean, that's everybody's having to
what
do
everyone's
that. I
having
mean,
to- yeah.
there's a glut of media now, and you do blur. But you have efforts now to make sure that people know what you're doing.
Yeah, I think that we had a website that was built in 2001.
Oh, that always works.
Clunky.
So it was like, loading that PDF page. But now we got a 2.0 website. We've got the social media, the Twitter.
Now, do you have interns, or are they all civil service employees?
We don't have interns yet, but we do have kind of a whole new crop of folks that are coming in. So the mayor's actually, last year we got some positions restored. I mean, back in 2009, the city went through what's called like the fiscal cliff, and people were kind of laid off and took early retirement, and whole departments were just kind of like Swiss cheese. So we've got a lot of positions that are being restored. We've got communications people coming in. We got a digital strategist. Next year, we've got arts instructors coming in to replace arts instructors that were cut from.
Wow, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we got a fly on the
Yeah, I
on the
know,
set.
like-
On the wall.
You know,
I wish it was on the wall, man.
They don't have
A fly on the wall.
We don't need a fly on the wall because we
Yeah.
stream live at dronebox.com.
Oh, this is happening live.
We're streaming live. There's no editing.
You didn't know that? Do you want to drop an F-bomb just for fun?
Okay. The mayor may be watching. Oh, you were ready to say, okay, now take that part out where I said this.
I was
and
like,
that.
yeah, can you cut
Can
that?
you edit that?
Can
Nope,
we like fill?
sorry.
I'm not sure when the
Sorry.
COLA. Sorry, I'm big system delivery.
Yeah.
No, and you're awesome, and you're so inspirational.
Aw,
Now,
thank
tell
you.
me, I'm sentimental.
I like you.
I like you too. Can we like have coffee in City
We
Hall?
totally can.
Okay, cool.
In City Hall.
Oh, wait, do you have to go to meetings a lot?
I meet a lot.
That's
I do a lot.
A lot of meetings. Like your job is what
I
percent?
do
Like
my
40% going to meetings, or like 80%?
I do. I go. No, I do a lot of meetings. I attend a lot of events, and
Oh, like ribbon cuttings and stuff?
I do ribbon cuttings.
You actually-
Do they have the
I
big
do
scissors,
ribbon. Yeah,
or-
I do ribbon cuttings.
God,
It
how
is
hot is
so.
that?
Do they have one pair of scissors at City Hall that
No,
they?
there's multiple
They
pairs
just.
of
Where do
yeah.
they come from? Can I get a pair?
I don't know. I'll find that out though when we have coffee.
You know, if City Hall had a yard sale, they could sell a couple of these pairs of scissors.
Yeah, I think people would buy
Do
them.
people come up with dumb suggestions like that all the time?
No, it's a good one though.
Oh, no, but-
I get other suggestions.
Do you go to parties and people just say like,
Oh,
okay,
people
what's the
have
dumbest?
So many, no, I can't. I can't. I can't.
Okay, what's
We
the
can
best
do that.
suggestion that was randomly given to you that you just went, hey, that would be great?
Oh God, I wish this is. I
It's
don't
just so much.
know.
Is it just
I don't know.
you're-
I just take them as my own.
Ah,
That's what I do.
That is the key to your
Yes,
success.
I just take them as my own. No,
Yeah,
like,
I came up with this.
If you give me an idea,
it wasn't the
that's-
drunk in the club, but hey.
I mean, come on, let's roll with it.
Okay, no, let's go. So you go to a lot of meetings. Now, do you get to call meetings?
Oh yeah, of course. We call meetings.
So is it true that when you call a meeting, what percentage of people call a meeting just to prove that you had to show up to the meeting that they called? That's like a little...
Oh, I don't do gratuitous. Well, yeah, I do gratuitous.
No, not you, but I mean, do you end up having to show up to a meeting and you're like, the only reason I'm here is so they could prove to me that I had to show up to their meeting?
I'm not answering that question, by the way. So one thing that I wanted to tell you about, which we didn't put on the little list of things to talk about, is that we just put, it's right there on his receipt from buying me coffee. Oh shoot, you can't buy me coffee. I have to pay for that.
Does it reimburse me?
Can't you take him out for coffee and then it's all even, Stephen?
Yeah, tell my wife that.
So anyway, so we just put, I'm not going to answer that either. We just put an artist in residence with the Department of Transportation, which I'm super excited
That's
about.
Wow, Department of Transportation.
Yeah.
So what will they be doing?
So they're going to figure out how to end traffic deaths. Do you think an artist can do that?
They're going to end traffic
from
deaths. Who's the
texting?
artist?
Or
His name is
drinking?
Alan Nakagawa.
Oh, I know Alan Nakagawa. He just retired from Metro.
did.
I went by.
Did you go to Pok Pok and see?
You know what? I was checking out the place I wanted to rent the Pok Pok ballroom, And that's where Alan Nakagawa was having his retirement
yeah,
party.
he
And I was
got
like,
the
I know everybody here. I
commission.
gotta. So
It's super exciting.
So he's going to be driving around. We think transportation. He's going to be driving. Is he going to be flying around?
No, he's embedded within the Department of Transportation to help traffic engineers rethink how they approach their job.
Oh, so no more of those blinking signs that says "Don't text," and you're like trying to read it,
And you're like,
drive.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
None of that.
none of that. Nope.
So Alan is going to be in the Department of Transportation, which is
He's embedded in the Department of Transportation.
wait, embedded. So that's kind of like he's your agent in there. Wow.
Well, he's my agent, but he's a creative agent that's using creativity to help traffic engineers rethink their jobs.
Wow.
Rethink how they go about it. And if you think about our roads, we have so many roads in Los Angeles, they've been designed to get from point A to point B in the fastest way. We can't build any more roads in Los Angeles. We can build trains, we can build bike lanes, we can do a whole bunch of other things. We can
Jetpacks.
we can do jetpacks.
Drones. Just hold on to the drone and
Oh my God, and just fly.
Just kind of fly.
Can we get can he clone pterodactyls and we can like ride on the backs of pterodactyls to meetings?
That would be amazing.
I
That would be amazing.
I am a sentimentalist, and I have to ask you about one of my great loves of LA is the Hollyhock House. You know.
Great love.
So what's up with the Hollyhock House?
It's open. Have you been?
No, I've been, but it was closed for a long time. Long time. I thought we were going to lose the Hollyhock
No.
House. You can stay. The Hollyhock House is back.
The Hollyhock House.
It's back. It's better than ever. It's going to stay.
You love the Hollyhock House. I will tell you that the city of Los Angeles loves the Hollyhock House, and I have been so impressed. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a political appointee, but I've been so impressed by our colleagues at the Bureau of Engineering, Project Restore, Rec and Parks, General Services. The entire city family absolutely feels that this gem called Hollyhock House is part of the fabric of the city. And it went through this massive restoration effort at a time when the city was basically falling off the fiscal cliff, and everybody kind of put their energy into it. And it was one of those things where people really put their heart and soul into it. And Jeffrey Herr is the house curator, and he is a fervent, he's first an incredible genius. He is the stalwart champion of making sure that every little detail is done with the utmost care and precision on a historic preservation front. You want to get in there? You want to make a comment? Because I love Hollyhock House.
No, I'm just curious. Do they ever is there a Frank Lloyd Wright manual they can check? How would he do it? Or do they just go with how they?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, there's a huge. As a matter of fact, Hollyhock House is up for UNESCO designation right now.
Wow.
And it is. We're going to. Jeffrey's on his way to Istanbul next week to attend the UNESCO World Heritage, where they're going to be reviewing all of the nominations, and it is quite possible that our Hollyhock House is going to be a World Heritage site.
Like with the caverns in Malta and stuff. I mean, that's a huge deal. And I will say that when it was open over the weekends, its first weekend opening, I woke up at 3 a.m.
Did you?
Put on a sweater and went up there, and there were people in line, and I just missed the pre-breakfast crowd, so I was able to really linger and walk through it, and it was one of the most amazing things. It was so beautiful, and I just felt such love for my city, and to see all the different people who were in line at post-bar closing, pre-breakfast. There was still a line.
It was crazy. It was Valentine's weekend last year. And people were climbing the fence. I gotta get into the house. I gotta get, people were waiting for 2 hours to get in. But here's the thing. It's this is one of the things that the city really got right. It's just one of the things they got right.
And it made us a 24-hour city.
Yeah.
It was one of those few things. That and Tim Yude's performance on Hollywood Boulevard is another 24-hour experience. So we love those.
Are the Watts Towers a 24-hour experience?
No, absolutely not. Nope.
Nope.
And I think that
when are they open till?
They're open until I think 4:30.
Okay.
Monday through Friday. I mean, you can go to the Watts Towers anytime.
You can drive by and check it out,
But you
but
know,
to get
the
in
city
there.
actually doesn't own the Watts Towers.
No, really?
No, this is crazy.
You don't have anything to do with them.
We absolutely have everything to do with
Oh, you have
Watts
everything
Towers,
to do with
but
them.
we don't own them.
Simon Rodia's kids own it?
No, the state of California.
Oh.
And then they lease it back to the city of Los Angeles to take
man.
care of it, which is one of the things that I don't think the city got right back in the day. There was a time when there was an incredibly committed group of people that actually saved it from being demolished by the city, and then
they got taped.
and then the city
state
didn't
did-
want it, and so. And this is back in the 70s. So the state said, okay, we'll take it and we'll take care of it and we'll lease it back to the city to take care of.
Bad decision. Bad decision.
I think the city needs to reclaim its ownership.
I think, yeah, we could.
I think that
we could trade them
We
something.
we could do a PPP.
We could do a PPP.
There you go.
Well, we
PPP.
a PPP.
Okay.
Pay to it.
Hey, we're having sophisticated conversation here on Modern Art Blitz. I have to deeply thank our wonderful guest, Danielle Brazell,
You say it's so good.
the general manager of the City of Los Angeles Department of Cultural Affairs. My job is to say your name right.
It was really fantastic.
Everything else.
Such an awesome, you are just the awesomest,
But let's see real quick.
Oh.
The Skechers seat has produced.
wow.
Let's get it over.
Oh my God, that's really good.
All right.
She's really good.
What?
There we go.
She's
There
on
we go.
Sketcher. We don't have just
Intern
great
Aliza in the
amateurs
Skechers seat has triumphed again. We do this every Sunday, and you can watch us archived on dronebox.com. Modern Art Blitz for intern Aliza, my co-host Lisa Derrick, our wonderful guest Danielle Brazell. I'm your host Mat Gleason. We do this every Sunday. No tagline. Where's the logo music?
There we go.
There we go. Woo-hoo.